I'd like to welcome back J.J. Johnson, Vice President from Sizemore Insurance, back to the stage. When we completed our 2026 Technology and Corporate Governance study, we could get a deep dive look into what firms were doing immaculate things. And there's a couple specific questions I wanted to follow up with you on because Sizemore is doing stuff different. For instance, in the survey, you responded that a majority of your technology and AI solutions were specifically to enhance your production and your producer behaviors. So what specifically are you doing to make your producers more effective? And are you seeing any changes in their behaviors and performance yet?
Yeah, I appreciate the question. Probably the biggest thing that we've done is, we talked about the getting rid of the friction points, but the proposals, renewals, renewal agents and their whole renewal process, going back to the ground and then coming up with automations and things that help, as far as that's concerned, taking all of that manual data input kind of stuff and automating those processes have allowed them to have so much more time to be able to make those relationships, do what's necessary to, grow their book of business. And of course, they're pretty happy about it because they're not having to do, this other stuff that nobody wants to do because now we've built in, automations for those things. And we're continuing to do that now.
Yeah, I think producers' time and skills are probably better spent in building those relationships instead of editing proposals and formatting fonts, right?
Right, for sure.
Well, only 6% of the membership also is spending their AI spend in the production space. So thank you for kind of leading the way on that. Another standout finding from Sizemore is that you have individuals with formal analytics responsibility on your payroll. So tell us more about these people. Like, where did you find them and what is their background and what percentage of their job is actually dedicated towards analytics?
So we hired our marketing director. He was working out of a firm in New York for a company on their marketing team. And they were so much ahead. I mean, it's a Fortune 500 company. So he was able to bring his skills to us. And right off the bat, as far as analytics are concerned, he started building out dashboards using money.com and taking all of our information, not just from what we were selling, but where the leads were coming from, where the channels the money we were spending on the different channels of revenue, all of these different things, what carriers we're running with and what areas and all that, building those analytics, building the dashboards that we can make real buying decisions on, like as far as our marketing dollars, where we're going to spend it based off of where we were succeeding, where we were failing, we were pulling back and doing that. And then of course we brought on our developer that has furthered our ability with as far as the KPIs. And we've done other things with him where we're building out dashboards for the agency, like an entire look at where we are from the agency. That's an HTML dashboard that management can use with scorecards for our employees, everything across the board, system governance and how they're utilizing the system, those types of things. And I think, when you think about data, you can't grow unless you know what your data is. And that became a really big responsibility, a big thing that we wanted to concentrate on. And so that's what we've done over the last 2 years.
Of course, MarshBerry is going to love any kind of focus on data. In fact, just to round out this conversation, can you tell me if there's one specific thing that MarshBerry Connect has done to influence your tech initiatives over the years?
Absolutely. So this is my third, it's Brad's, maybe this is fourth year, my third year being here, but I'll never forget sitting in the main ballroom and you guys had an analytics company, I can't remember the name of it, but it was basically showing, here's all the data that we have over 4,000 agencies and you can pay to put your data up here and put yourself against everybody else. And I had not really thought about the level of complexity of data at that point. Brad, our owner, the same. And we realized how important data was and we made that switch. Then we made real changes within the agency from a revenue standpoint. And then the other real standout is, I know everybody talks about culture within their agencies, but that's such a big thing that MarshBerry, in all the meetings and our SIG groups that we talk about culture. And we made real changes within our company based off of the conversations and the things that we learned here on a culture side from the company that's made a monumental difference.
Well, I think it's flattering that you're learning from us, but we're learning just as much for you. So round of applause for JJ, and thank you so much for your time.
Seriously. Thank you.